2. Um, where am I? So, what have I accomplished since I've been gone? Well, ironing out some things, still getting some parts and pieces in place. There were some scripts not written right, a lot of things like that, not quite playing out the way I wanted them to. So I kind of went through and ironed out some parts, got it all compiling again, and I think with that big hairy think, I think I've got most of it plugged back in again. So I've got some parts like this zoom manager or this game card zoom panel. What its purpose is ooh, let me shrink this here. So I've got a zoom panel that allows it to zoom out, but I changed its name from game card or from player card zoom panel or whatever to game card zoom panel because it's generic, and I want all anytime the card zooms out, click, go to this, open this game card zoom panel. So whenever the button object, the prefab, so I'm going to go over to my prefab here, which is the game card, and I want this guy. This guy is supposed to look up using a singleton, I think is what it's going to be, and open up the zoom card. So I'm going to go ahead and have this, set that up while things I did involved, I had to change the way it was loading up the team's information because it was misled. I noticed it. I was reading through the code. I'm going, oh yeah, that's not going to do it. It was looking up team. It was combining the team name and the team option and into one, which aren't the same because they're two different steps. The first, the option is pick what team you want, and then what team name you want to give it, and those are two different screens, two different things going on, and it was confused. You can see I removed the extra gobbledygook out of this off this particular site, player info site A panel. So I don't know what's going to display. Like I said, once I finally get this running, I'm getting closer. I'm getting all the little knots untied and the pieces in place, and hopefully I'll be able to get it. So it's like, okay, let's run this and things will start to happen. We're close. Got all the code there. It's just not all functional yet. So it's slowly getting ironed out. So hopefully we're really, really, really close. But I do need to get this thing to do one more thing here. So while I go, I want to update the what is the name of this thing? It's got a script of its own. It's called, oh, I think I had it all compiling. I hadn't actually come in here and let it refresh, but it was compiling on the back end. Should be good. We will see in a moment. Okay, we're there. Okay, we're good. Okay, so we do have this, and we have the card button. Okay, so I want to update the card button of the, let's see, game card script. It should open the zoom panel whenever it is triggered. The zoom panel is going to have to be referenced via a singleton to the game card zoom dash panel, to the game card zoom dash panel. prefab. So the reason I'm not putting it in the game card prefab, even though that's pretty much the only place it's going to be needed, is because since these game cards are not always in the parent scene, it's sometimes inside of another prefab, which has been smaller. It might be resized to something small. Apparently, from what I've been told, my by AI, game card or the zoom panel will only get as big as the object it's within. It can't grow outside of it. So I can't have my game cards, which are inside of other sub panels, also have the zoom panel, because it would just not get it big enough. Whereas my main screen is bigger, and I need it to zoom out so that it comes out to be this big. So no matter where you click it, it zooms out. And then when you close it, it just goes back. So I would love to get me some kind of a transitional coolness going, but since it's not the same object going into the thing, I don't know how I would accomplish that. But anyway, so that's kind of what I want to do. So let's see, it's working on that. It's going to take a moment to get that in place. I still don't have a confirmations button, which is where it will ask you to select. I'm gonna need a confirmation button for probably multiple things. Like you do this. Are you sure you want to do this? I want it to be the same. So I probably should create a confirmation panel. So we're gonna go into the. It's probably not gonna let me do much because it's writing code right now. As it write code, it's not gonna let me do anything. Yeah. Maybe I had one of those days where I didn't eat that much today, but I feel like I ate too much. Just feel full. I don't know. All I did was eat like an egg burrito and a couple eggs, and that's been my food all day. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. That's all I've eaten. But it's not that it didn't sit right. I just feel full. Bleh. Don't know why. Just one of those things, man. Time to spike my drink with some ghostly energy. It's that time of the year, you know, you gotta have ghostly energy. Not all energy is considered, not all energy is equal. What's going on? Why am I frozen? Weird. Okay. Did it finish? No, I don't really open the zoom panel whenever it's clicked. Okay, that's fine. I think that's right. If that doesn't work, I will then know why I didn't do it that way before. I'll be like, ooh, yeah, there's, oops. Hopefully I won't be doing any oops. So we'll close this, and we have the game card zoom panel. We need to create another panel. I just want it to be a simple panel. This is just going to be a very, 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 very basic panel. So we're going to go UI panel. And this one I am going to call the confirmation panel. Confirmation panel. And we'll go ahead and resize that. I think I will go with hopefully something like that. Let's see, left 610. So weird how this just does its own thing. And top 645. And bottom, let's just say 600. See what happens if I do 600 here. There we go. We'll go with that. Okay, now I got to put a background on it. Let's go to my textures. We got my UI team icons. Nope. Credit card. Nope. 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 Maybe that one. That's not really what I want. I'm trying. I'm actually kind of sliding my theme over into a more different style to go along to fit my characters better. So I'm thinking, I mean, I like my theme look, but it's too, it doesn't match the theme of my players. That's the problem. And I'm trying to see if I can adjust that. I'm sure there's a way. So I've been kind of trying to add, like, for example, I want to take this thing and I think I'm going to use this one. Let's see. That's the first card. So I'm going to try and see if I can get this to look a little bit more. See, look at this. Okay. This image. This is an image that better fits the theme of my players, the stylized of my players, but it's the same image. Mostly. But the problem is the only reason I haven't swapped to it is because it's a crap football field. And this football field ain't great, mind you. This one's even crappier. I do like it though. I mean, the stylizing, the practice field is garbage too. Like I said, at some point I'd really like to just create a blank canvas and then build the buildings and the objects, you know, the stadium, the field. And then I can do things like upgrade and add that stuff and have it change on your screen. I like that. I've seen a couple games do that. It's not unique as far as something that a game does. It's not every game doesn't do it. I think the program lets you update those things, but it doesn't. No, not the program. Football GM lets you update those things, but it doesn't. There's no visual effect of it. You do it on a different page, and you just say update this or update that, and it just tells you whether you've updated it and what level it's at and whatever. I kind of like a visual. I have seen some that do visual. I like visual. That's because, again, it gamifies things. It makes things feel a little bit more interactive. And that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I want the more interactive effects. But it's just it's like a coloring. It feels brighter. It's a little bit less drab, I guess is the term I'm looking for. This is going to be interesting though, because see how this button border is? This button border here actually might work for my purposes. I think what I'm going to have to do to get the kind of visual effect I want is to not use this style of coloring. So in other words, when I use gold, it's going to have to be yellow, not gold. Because gold is too, yeah, it doesn't have to be though. I don't know. I'm visualizing it works. But in my head, it makes sense. But in practice, getting AI to not blow it up. See this, I think I like this, but if I can give it the energy I want, let's see if I can create a copy of this. Copy and paste. Paste? I think there's a way to rotate this too, isn't there? No. Rotate right. Yeah, there we go. We're going to call this small dialog. And then I'm going to see if I can drag this over here. Not sure if it is possible, but can you apply the same styling to this simple dialog box? I don't know if it's possible. I think it's going to come down to, oh, goody, I got a spam risk. No. So I don't answer spam risks. They can leave me a message. I do. It'll take a message. It just won't. I'm just not answering it. It's looking at this going, how do I change this? I think ultimately what it comes down to is it's going to have to make it like a brighter gold. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do. See, that could work. It could work. It is a more. The idea is that it turns more cartoony. I think it's more cartoony that I'm looking for. It is a cartoon styling that I'm looking at. It's kind of like a nice detail, but it's cartoony. That's all I can explain it. This is going to be my confirmation dog. It may not be great. It may not be the exact thing I'm looking for, but for now we're going to go with it. Just a few more adjustments. That's all it is, just a few more. I mean, the ultimate goal is that it is a brighter look, I guess. I think that's what I'm looking for. Sometimes it's like in my head I visualize something, but it doesn't. That is a little better. Let's go with it. Let's go with it. We'll give it a shot. Apply vibrant. Let's see. We'll call this the dialogue 2. All right. So we got that. We're going to go ahead and drag that puppy into my screen. Is that the new one? The new dialogue 2, or is that the regular one? That's the regular one. Okay, so dialogue 2 is here. It's a little different. Little. Only problem is, I think it's got a background on it. I think it left me with a background. I don't know if it's going to work. Guess we'll find out in a minute. We will go here, there, and apply. And then we'll take dialogue 2, and we're going to go over to my confirmation panel and drop you in there. We don't want you to be invisible because that's not very useful. It's really textured though, huh? It's really got a strong texture. I don't know if I like that. But for now, it'll have to work. So, we got to put a text box in there. Insert text box. UI, TextMesh Pro. What we will do is whatever's in there, we're going to go like that. And then we're going to resize this puppy. What happens when I do this? Ooh, where'd it go? That totally went wonky. All right, well, that's not what I wanted. So I may have to apply my percentage-based positioner because, yeah, that's not working. All right, so we'll let's change this box. And that's another one. Should I? All right, let's do that. Add component. We're gonna go PCT transform. we're going to go, oh sure, we're going to bring this down into a usable area. And left. And yeah, okay, so no, I'll just say 13. And 13. And 7. We'll go with that. All right. And then this guy probably do the same thing. We're going to have to put add and then we're going to have you shrink down to a more usable size. Let's just go I'll say 30 and bottom 30. And then we'll say right, I don't know, what is right? It's a good number for right. 25? Sure, we'll go 25. 25 and 25. Does that work? 20. Let's give myself a little bit more room. 20 and 20. All right, let's see if this this plays a little nicer. Sure, that plays a little nicer. It's not fixed width. I kind of wanted it to be fixed width. But as long as my dialogue stays centered and just does its thing, I don't think it's going to matter. It'll have plenty of room. You can see I still have background on that image. I don't like that, but this will make sure that the box fits. And if it gets longer, it'll just write longer. So whatever my text is, I probably do need to make the text a little bit bigger. We'll go, I don't know. I don't really want to auto size. Auto size just looks weird. Let's go with, how big is Nest? How about 47? We'll try 47 and see where that goes. And then why I get that random number? It was another one of my dialogues or pictures or something had it. So that's what I went with. All right. I do have to fix those corners. I won't worry about it right now. It's not super important to me right now. It seems a little big, but it's just a dialog box. It'll go away when you click it. In fact, I should probably have it. How about when you just click anywhere? I mean, no, this is a confirmation panel. This isn't just a dialog box. This is a confirmation panel. So that means if it's a confirmation panel, I need to say there is confirm and cancel buttons. I need 2 buttons. UI button and another button. And this is going to be confirm dash button, and this will be cancel dash button. And the only reason, again, I use these descriptors is because it's not obvious sometimes on what you're looking at. Because see, like nowhere on this page does it say button. Oh, I guess it does way down here. But it's not clear because not every object has the same things on it. They don't all say button on them. So I don't know. I guess I could learn to recognize what this stuff is on the inspectors, but I don't want to. So that's that. I don't want to. So I have buttons. Let's go ahead and we're going to use this again. And we're going to resize this one down to way down here. And then we're going to go from the bottom to get it off this bottom area. We'll just go like that. And then we'll go right just to push it over to about a little off center. And then we'll bring the left one over just to get it so it's in a good place. It's a little tall though, so let's bring the bottom up a tad. There you go. So let's change that to a fixed numbers. So we'll go, let's see, 65, 55, 17, 14. All right, 65, 55, 17, 14, which won't completely apply here. The values I want are the top and bottom, 65 and 17. Add this. And we got top, 65, and bottom, 17. And then this guy, it should be right 1455 are the two I want here. So this is 14 and 55. Put them over on the other side. Buttons almost still seem kind of big, don't they? But let's put a, we'll put an image on it, see how it goes once I get to that. We'll go, I do have some button images. Well, these are not the buttons I was going to use, but let's go ahead and put that there. And we'll put this one over there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, so and then we got my text. My text is not very bold looking, is it? It's like, did it even change? Is it even the right color? Is it clear? What the heck color is that? What the heck color is that text? I'll say confirm. And we'll go to this one. Go here. Cancel. All right, so I think the only thing I need to do now is fix my color, which is really weird. Why is that color so weird? Which one am I fixing? Is this the font that I'm fixing? Huh. Weird. It's certainly not white. I don't know what that is. All right, let's see what happens if I click here. Oh, that does get brighter. It's not the... still doesn't seem like white, though. Is that... Why does that still not look white to me? I guess it is, because it's all 255s. All right. Back here. Probably should make that text bigger, too. Let's take that up to... 50. There we go. 50 and 50. You know, funny, that's not really centered, huh? My images, that's like a little off on the centering there. That's kind of weird. Dilate, thickness, I don't know, but that's weird. Why is that off center like that? Even though I said center. That's not right either. how do I fix that?
That is a problem I don't know the answer to. Hello? Hello? Somebody answers? How do I make that to not be weird?
Horizontal mapping, vertical extra settings. What are extra settings? Rich text, recast target, la la la, la la la. La 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 la. Margins. I don't have any margins. There's no margins here. Man, I want to move that. How do I fix that? This is very good question. Can I cheat? What if I just do this and go here and just push it up a tad? I don't know if that'll translate though. If it's forced, I guess we'll find out. That does look better. All right, we'll go with that. Bingo. All right, so let's see what happens when I swap this down. Yeah, it still looks pretty good. It's a skinny screen, but that's what happens when you have a skinny screen. That'll fix itself. I don't know why. It takes a while to translate in design mode. I don't know. I haven't tried it in live mode. I hope it's not a problem. I may have to force a refresh, but you can see it eventually catches up. It's like it's not refreshing the screen. But, all right. Let's take this. Let's actually adjust the bottom because the text doesn't need to be below the confirmation zone here. There we go. Perfect enough. Project. All right, so now we have a confirmation. Okay, so the confirmation button when we do this is going to be called, I'm going to change this and call it the confirm button text. Confirm button dash TP. Just because. All right, so let's go back over to my prefabs here. That happens on the team name and the team options. So when these guys get their buttons clicked, so that is the script that belongs to him, which is here. Using the same strategy, the confirmation button, the confirmation, what is it called? Confirmation what? Confirmation dash panel. No, the confirmation dash panel should be called for both the, let's see, team name selected and the team option summary when their button functionality is triggered. With the cancel dash button click, just closing the dialog and doing nothing, and the confirm dialog, closing and executing the find, save, and progress actions. The confirmation dash panel is on the current scene in the same way as the zoom panel is. The confirmation dash panel has a confirmation button dash TMP text box where text will be added confirming, asking the user if their selection, if they would like to select that option slash team name. Okay, so we'll let it do that. And it is a big dialog box. Looking at it here, it's big. But is it too big? Maybe. We'll see. Let's let things work a little bit. Get it in practice. I can always tweak and play on dimensions and stuff later. But for now, we'll get it. We'll just try to get it all to just work. Okay, so now we've got confirmation panel, we've got our zoom panel, we've got our team option, team name, prefabs. I've got the announcement board, which is where the game's going to kind of be driven through, kind of like where you'll also see other things later for schedulings and stuff like that. It's kind of like, I think I've got the parts. I'm not sure. I'm hoping. I still have to make things run. I've been plugging in scripts. That's what I was doing a little bit these last couple of hours. I was plugging in scripts. And I'll probably have some new scripts when this is done to have to plug those in as well. Identify the parts and have them do their thing. But these things aren't in the script, so they're going to have to be singleton calls, which means I'm not sure how that's going to function, but we'll see. It's going to require a little bit new compiling here, so we know that that's going to take a moment of time. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're going to have this. We're going to try to get this running here in a moment. So many things. It's October 17th, and that means I've only got about 14 days if I want to get my demo working by the end of the month. I'm not sure. If I can get myself just all the way to the simulation screen, that in itself is going to be like, whew, I made it all the way to here. And then the next part gets a little complicated because that's where I'm going to starting to move players. I have to start making calls that put the players out there and have them shuffle around. I've already made some calls to start moving people and putting them on the field and having them navigate. So I know some of that stuff exists. I haven't played with it too much yet because I haven't triggered a game yet. But I got to get the game trigger going, and then players will start doing their thing, and then I have to have the game plans start getting called. Now I have game plans, but they're not fully defined, so I may have to go into my game plan editor and generate a default game plan. So there's some things that need to be done. There's going to probably be some more, what do you call it? Not infrastructure. I mean, I have a lot of the infrastructure already, but a lot of the data setup, which is a lot of what kind of held me up to get this far. Getting the players and the skills and all that stuff lined up. And then now I'm going to have the infrastructure of getting the skill calls and executions done so that every time a player moves. I may have to do something small, like if I can first get the players in position, have them move to the line of scrimmage on a play, and then just run a play, and even if it only executes one player, that would be nice. And then slowly just have it start working on all the different players and actions of each play. And just kind of see how things are playing, because I may have to go through 22 players, but I'm giving them generic commands, so those commands will be used interactively. As each time a new call comes through, it's going to execute that same command, but I may have to trigger every command along the way, and I may have to have a bunch of stuff in there, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so where are we? We changed 6 files to do that. Holy frijoles in the command. That's a significant change. All right, what did we do? Let's go read. Perfect. Now we can do this. Update name structures. Let's see. Perfect. I've successfully implemented the confirmation panel system using the same singleton strategy as the game card zoom panel. Here's what we created and modified. We created a confirmation panel manager, singleton manager, that provide global access to the confirmation panel, accepts custom messages and callback actions, handles confirm and cancel button clicks, automatically shows hides the panel. Updated. Team name selected, CS. Call confirmation panel. When button is clicked, shows message. Would you like to select the city mascot as your team name? That works. Execute. Save progress. Yeah. Cancel. Just close the dialog. Team options selected, modified, remove local team dialog, no longer needed. Remove local confirmation dialog references, no longer needed. Call, confirm panel manager and something like that. When button is clicked, show message. Would you like to take control of the... Oh, we can't do city mascot on this one, because that's not... It keeps getting caught up with the fact that it keeps thinking there's a city mascot defined at that point. There is not. Okay. Almost. But step 3 displays city mascot in the text. But at that point, there is no the team names have not been assigned. So the text should just read, would you like to take control of this team? I might even change the text myself. I think I might be saying, would you like this to be your team, or would you like to select this team? What did I say? I think I did say, would you like to take control of this team? It's all semantics, man. It's the same thing. It's all about just trying to come up with a different way to say the same thing. As fantasy as this is, I'm not going to try to do like Old English. It'd be kind of cool to be able to translate to Old English, but I don't know Old English well enough. I wouldn't know the ye's and the these and the thous and the thoses and the thuses. I don't want to be Shakespearean by any means, but it'd be kind of cool to kind of use like an Old English styling. I think even using Old English fonts would be kind of cool in my text. Because it just, you know, my goal is to kind of give that feel, a consistent feel throughout the game of where are you? You're in a fantasy world playing football. The football's the only thing that feels out of place. Who plays football? And it'd be kind of cool, you know, have the orcs playing against the hobbits. Instead of killing each other, they're playing football to each other, and they kill each other on the field. Legal murder. I don't know. All right, so we got that. So all right, let's see what we got. Let's go see some changes. How did we change? Okay, so we updated here. Let's see if it successfully. Weird. I have a dialogue that just popped up on my Android phone, and I don't know why. I don't know what triggered it. It just says create note, AI select, screen right, drawing assist. It must be a Samsung thing. Did they add something to one of their updates that now I have this thing pop up on my screen? 50 odd. Is it done? Oh, it did. Okay, so, well, what am I missing now? I probably got to assign. Well, maybe. Let's just run it. Let's see what miracles happen here. Maybe nothing. This is where I may have to get AI to help me figure out what I'm missing, because I can't think of what the next missing piece of the puzzle. Okay, so you can see my bar only went half full and then disappeared, and it stayed on the screen and nothing happened. So we're a little off. See how it's still my initialization progress bar? It loaded, but nothing happened. That's not what I was looking for. Do I make that smaller? I may have to make that smaller. That's kind of a big fat progress bar, huh? I get caught up in the UI. Eventually that's good. That's exactly where I'll need to be, caught up in the UI, fixing and tweaking and improving. But it's not required for what I'm currently doing. So we're going to go ahead and keep this for now. I probably should have looked at it, huh? I always end up looking at it later going, oh, God, what did you do? I've got to fix this. But when I'm in the middle of a first-time design, I do tend to let AI have a little bit more free reign on new stuff. I am curious what my current counts are. It's the 17th, and I have consumptions of 70%. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be running the line. I may end up investing in a second service, probably just Copilot, or not Copilot, Claude, or Bezier. Probably Claude, because Claude can still see the whole thing. Bezier can't see the whole thing, so Bezier can only see my Unity stuff. Unity's a little bit better about the Unity interactions, but honestly, I'm getting a lot done this way. So I'm not totally sure I need the Bezier's Unity actions, because Unity doesn't, Bezier can see my structure better, so it's a little bit better about knowing what I have and how to work with. And the Unity AI has been kind of a letdown. It almost seems like it doesn't know what my object structure is. Bezier does better, so there's that. But you know, Unity's AI is free right now, so that's what I'm using at the moment when I do use that. Okay. I attempted to run the program. And we got some errors. Oh, maybe that's it. Let's see what these errors are. I didn't see those. Let's clear these. Make sure that those are current. Because, oh, wait a minute. They should be current, but let's see what this does. That's the problem. Let's clear these errors out, and then we'll know where we truly are. So we got 9 errors. And they're all right here. Oh, nope. You know what? I know why things aren't working. I have not started my services yet. Joink, doink. What are you doing, Ken? You can't run this thing without services. I do that all the time, especially when I'm doing like a lot of new new stuff, I tend to, I don't turn on I don't start my services because I don't need to right away. I haven't tried to run this all day. Well, I have, but only enough to make sure that it's compiling. So let's go back here. And that one doesn't have anything running. Okay, so we're good. I'm gonna go here. Let's go ahead and restart this. Just cause, man. You know what I haven't done yet either since I came back? I have not fixed my stream. What is that? Oh, that's the wrong one. Is it out here?
Connected to active Amon Gamers chat.
It's kind of funny how that highlights just reactivating it. It doesn't read that very well. Activate my gamers chat. I don't know. The voice is kind of weird. All right, let's. I have this guy. There we are. Log out. Continue. Close this. Go back here. Go back here. And then yeah. Get rid of this guy. Oh, edit. Then we'll get rid of this guy. And we'll say dot 220.2. No, it is one. It's still the same one. It's just still my second time one. Do I want to change my UI? Nah. I don't have a good thumbnail for this right now. All right. There we go. All right, let's get that out of the way. Now, let's open it back up and start my services so that things could actually have a fighting chance of working. Take a moment. Wait. Twiddle the thumbs. La, da, da. How come it says I have 3 projects? 3 projects failed to be loaded. What is it? Why is it trying to load 3 projects? I mean, I have PFFM Go MS. Android, what is this? FPFM, FPFM. Oh, so these are all. Yeah, that's gonna be weird. It doesn't run the code here, so that's just a thing. No, that's not right. There we go. Task, all services. Let's see which ones. Let's see how many start up without flaws. How many things have we successfully started but didn't break? I've done a lot of changes today. Lots of stuff got changed. And you know, it's weird. Playbook is the only one that does this. It asks for this. I don't know why all the other ones don't. They're all doing the same thing. Well, I assume. Maybe there's something weird about Playbook. But Playbook is old. I've had it for a while. I don't know why it's the only one that does it. But so far, everything's starting up okay. Players, leagues. League's gonna start? Oops, league blew up. I need leagues. Can't not have leagues. How about player skills? This is another one that breaks a lot. Yeah, we still got problems. There's some compilizing. Oh, admin's got this thing. Admin's brand new, so it might have some issue with that. Hopefully admin's okay. Okay, so everybody's good except leagues and player skills. I will need both of those, I think. In fact, I know I will. So let's go look at leagues and player skills, I guess. Player skills. Don't see a problem with it. There's no syntax errors. Syntactual errors. No syntactual errors in leagues either. Huh. Let's see what the problem is. Unknown field. Let's see if we can get this one fixed. Okay. League service is failing to start. These errors. And then the player skills service is failing. What is player skills? Player skills, is it failing because there's no... Player skills might be failing because there's no... Do I need player skills to start? I might not need it. Yeah, I will need it. Player skills doesn't start, but I do need it to start. And I will need the player skills service to start with go run dot. Since I will need to be calling it to get player ratings and skills information. So it's trying to start them. There is not a bug apparently with player skills. It just doesn't have a default start option. Leagues has some errors, and they have the assigned team name, assigned user to team response, but it's missing the gRPC handler calls, which makes sense. Like I said, anything you add, any function that has to be called through the gRPC handler has a lot of parts. I mean, there is almost always at least 5 files you have to create. There's a file in the gateway. If it's the first function, you have to create the service file. In that gateway call, that's where you put all your... This ain't even counting the functions. These are just the files. You go in there, and then you got to create one. You got to create new lines in... Well, okay, so maybe you don't need new files. You need new functions. I mean, if the service already exists, you don't need new files. But you'll need functions. You need to have a gRPC handler... I want to call it the gRPC gateway handler, where the gateway takes in the call. That will in turn call a function that's within that file. That's 2. That calls over to the service, which is in the gRPC handler. It's got its own handler for the service picking it up. That's 3. Then that function will then call its own sub-function. I think that's not part of the gRPC handler. Like if I was to go look at my... I have to do this for it because it always fails on this. Hold on. Git bash. I'm going to go say cd PFFM go ms/common and make. Are we good? All right, we're good. Morning. League BB generate. Okay. Whatever. Something. Whatever. I ran make gen. Successfully. Anyway, so then you go to this gRPC handler, and this gRPC handler has its own handler, right? You go in here, it has all these calls to these different functions. It will in turn call that function. Now, that function might be over in service, and service will then call store. And if there's some types for that particular function you're using, you have a type. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5, and then 6, 7 on the gateway side. So that's 7 functions for one function call. Generally, I mean that's how it's going to work. There are times when you don't have to make certain things, like you may not need a types. You might not call the database. I don't know why you wouldn't, because mostly you're trying to get some data out of the database. But that's still 7 files. And additionally, if any of those are brand new in the sense that they need new types, you have to go through the proto files, which means adding 1 to 3 or however many types you need, type structs, into the proto file. So that could be 7. That's at least 8 updates. So that's you're updating 5 files and at least, but you also have to run MakeGen, which actually updates 2 more files. So there's a lot of stuff just to create one function call, and it's not a small effort. I mean, it's like the structures are consistent. I mean, it's not much different each time. It's like you look at all these and they're basically the same, right? Team, you have the objects, but you go down them and they're all just kind of doing the same call. And I'm sure there's probably a way to commonize some of this. Maybe, I would think. I don't like seeing like this and then seeing it in every other function. But the problem is they're calling different functions. So what are you supposed to do, right? So even though the structure looks the same, so let's go ahead and allow this. We're going to go over to my leagues. Which one is it? Leagues? All right, so we're going to go ahead and let this close. And we're going to allow this one to run. Let's see if it runs the league successfully. Hey, it's running. Okay, so all right, leagues is up and running. Now, at least I think it is. Let me check if the service is actually running by looking at the terminal output more carefully. Well, it says it's running. It's definitely running. I don't know what it's expecting to see. Nope, you're running. You're good. You can stop. Great, the league service compiles the port conflict means that there's already a... Yeah, I know. Alright, so we'll close that. So now we're going to start player skills. Let's see how player skills goes. We'll close this one off. That one did not run. Wait. Oh, no, that didn't work. Okay, so... that one's not going to do anything, man. You're going to be disappointed when you look at that one. What is going on, man? My watch is buzzing like I'm getting texts everywhere. I don't know who's texting me. Michael C. just made a wish. Oh. It's that time of the year. Everybody's making their wishes on Alfster. If you don't know what Alfster is, and you have a family, you are missing out. I'm telling you. Alfster, check it out. Alfster.com. I think it's .com. Might be .org, but I think it's .com. This tool is the bee's knees. Do bees have knees? I don't think they do, but you get it. They okay, using MakeGen, player skill service, understanding KoFi. Player skill service is a CLI data processing tool, not a continuously running gRPC service. It's used to nope, you're wrong. Nope. Player skills needs to be a always on service. In fact, I need to be able to call it with a player ID from UI so that I can load the player card side B data showing the skill ratings each for a given player. Nope, player skills needs to be an always on service. In fact, I need to be able to call it with a player ID from the UI so that I can load the UI player side B data showing the skill ratings for a given player. So does player skills not have the same structures? Oh, it doesn't even have the gRPC, so I got to make sure you follow the same service structure as the other services in the project. I have to pause it for those kind of things before it goes running off and trying to do its own thing. It will, trust me. AI likes to go, oh, I'll just go do this thing. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I got to rewrite it all because it's not the same as your other stuff. And I was like, dang nabbit. Even though the instructions, MD, does specifically say follow the other objects, you know, make sure you, because one of the things I've noticed right now is I am making better headway with certain actions because I finally got to the point where the majority of my base infrastructure exists for almost everything. There is a version of what I'm doing. There's a fully functional services. There's a gateway. There's objects. There's classes, class structure within the Unity system that now it's not being necessarily having to be built and reformed, because now when I work with UI or AI, I'm able to tell it, follow the previously existing structure, and it can just go, oh, any one of these files is doing this already, and it does it this way. And so it tends to build things way more accurately. I find myself doing a lot less refactoring once I've got a good foundation, and I keep it small. As long as some of the things I'm doing are big, but I mean keeping them small in the sense that I'm not having it do some massive global thing. I'm having it focus on a particular piece or element of what I'm trying to accomplish. Now, there have been times when I've written a text command that's this big because a particular new functionality has a lot going in it, and then it goes through and builds a bunch of garbage. It's not garbage, but, and then oftentimes I have to come back and look at it and go, okay, well, this doesn't work because you did this, and this doesn't work, and then it goes through, irons stuff, and then that's why I spend a few days ironing a thing out. But still, a brand new feature, functionality, a thing that I'm trying to get going, which historically might take a couple of weeks to build an entire new module, new piece, oftentimes only takes me a couple of days to get it going. And when I'm working with logic stuff, I mean, that's mostly just me. I can't really use AI for logic stuff because AI is stupid, but it's good at coding. And we'll just keep going with that. Let's go here, try this again. Oops, nope. Nope. I ran mission. It is good to go. The reason I don't let it run MakeGen is because it fails. I don't know what it's doing. The command looks right, but every time I run it, it just blows up. It just doesn't work. It says can't find certain files. I don't know. So I say, well, you're going to the common folder. I don't know what your problem is. So something about how it's navigating that particular command. I don't know. It's just one of those things, man. Oh, I've only got 40 minutes left. And I was really hoping to start seeing this thing output something before the weekend, before I finish the day, but we are... What did I do? I did not expect that to go over. Hey, I've had a good streak of not spilling. But that streak is over. Luckily, I did keep it off my keyboard, so there's that. I typically do spill frequently because I'm putting a carbonated drink inside of something that, when combined with carbonation, goes buzzes up. And for some reason, it wasn't doing it enough. I usually watch it closer. I thought it was empty enough that it wasn't going to get to that top, but I was wrong, folks. Now I made a big mess of my stuff here. I'm not sure how, but I didn't make as big mess as I thought I did. I was quite sure that was worse. So there's all these dark spots. I have a chair mat, one of those clear ones under my chair, and there's all these like dark spots, but they're like under it, and I'm like, what the heck are those? Now, maybe they're not under it. Maybe they're just like really dark spots that have been just dirty globs. I'm gonna have to scrub them off. They don't come off with just like water and stuff. Distractions. Here we go again. All right, so let's see. We'll allow this to run. Where are we? Why is it trying to run? Go run. You're not in the right place, man. You can't run that there. Yeah, you got to be in the right place. All right, let's try that. Da-da-da. Why does it always start from the root? Store is not a type. A different variable name? Background timeout. Hey, we're up and running. Woohoo! That one's no good. Let's get rid of that one. And that one's no good. We'll get rid of that one. And that one's not needed. Get rid of that one. That one's no good. We'll get rid of that one. But we are running. Player skills is now up and running. So I got player skills running. I've got leagues running, which weirdly enough doesn't say player skills, but they're both running. So I think I've got everything going. That's good. What it was done. Did it create my call to the skills? Probably not. User to team request, name request, assign team name. Whoa. What was this? Assign user to team request. Ran make gen in the common directory to regenerate protobuf code with the missing types. Oh, that was earlier. All right, converted the player skills.
Singles 4us5 says, best viewers on stream magic.online at UE's LDS.
Best. You guys and trying to sell me stuff. I don't want your best viewers. Your best viewers aren't viewers. Your best viewers are robots, just like you. I don't deal with robots. By the way, okay. I'm gonna rant a little bit here. I'm ranting at people in general. Okay, so here's the deal. AI, people, it's here. It's here to stay. Somebody was complaining, I don't know if it was TikTok or some other like video thing. They were complaining about AI sending them a rejection letter. And it said at the bottom, this was generated by AI. So what they got was, they called in or they applied for a job at some coffee place by some influencer, I guess, or whatever. She was a popular influencer at a $20 million coffee thing, and she was applying to work. And she got a really nice, a really well-written AI-generated, sorry, we can't, we don't have any positions open. She was trying to be an intern. And she posted it. Now, she wasn't the one complaining. She just said, this is the job market's hard. This is what I'm getting, blah, blah, blah. But people fed back on her text and said, this is, they were complaining about AI. AI does this. And then we're just getting all AI rejection letters. It's so tasteless. You could have wrote that yourself. Look, people, get over it. AI is here. It's going to be here more and more. It's going to be part of our lives. It's going to be doing these things. You're right. A person might have been able to write that. Probably could have wrote it just as good. Probably better, maybe. It was actually written pretty well. It was very professional and even kind of nice. I mean, as far as the rejection goes. And people, why? Why would you hire somebody to write something that can be professionally written by AI? I mean, it looks good. And the food, they at least acknowledged it. They said it was AI. People would not even have known it. I guarantee you, if that would have been sent to her, it was a non-issue if it was just a rejection letter. A lot of the rejection letters you get, they're not written by somebody who just sat there on their email and typed you out a brand new, fresh, unique rejection letter. Yeah. They open up their default pre-written rejection letter. They pop your name in there and send it off if a person is doing it. Nobody's writing you a personalized rejection letter anymore. The only way you get a personalized one is if maybe you had a personal connection with the person who, I'm sorry, John, I tried my best to get you a job, but there just isn't anything over here, man. Everybody I talked to just said there wasn't a job available for you. See, you're not going to get those unless you know the person working at HR at that company. Otherwise, you get a form letter, and I guarantee you it's not going to be any better than that AI's generated rejection letter. So it's life, folks. Just like calling up to that customer service and having to deal with the annoying as frick robot that's bouncing you around the phones and asking you for information, and then when you finally talk to a human, they don't even have the dang information. You have to give it to him too. It's like, for whatever reason, why do you have this dumb thing asking me questions, and then when I talk to a human, you don't have the information? Where's it putting it? Is it just swallowing it up and throwing it into the void? I'm sorry, we just don't have it doing that, or can't do that. It's like, yes, it can. You guys are just too lazy to make it happen. Just write it down in the computer screen, go to a human, boom. This is what the computer got from me. Don't ask me again. AI's here, though. We're just going to have to learn to deal with it. Hopefully, if the phone service was if it was better at hiding the stuff, like you didn't know, I probably wouldn't care so much. But if it sounded better, instead of I don't know what it would be. For customer service, press 1. For HR, press 2. And it's just like, I mean, there's so many better ways to go. You know, where would you like to go? You know, I mean, they're getting better. The natural language is getting better to the point where I start to expect that on the phone. If they're going to give me a robot, at least make it sound like it's not bored. Robots always sound bored. You know, it's like, customer service. We will push 1 for Joe, 2 for Mike, 3 for get out of here. I'm bored. Wake up, dude. You've had a rough life. It's like all you do is sit there on the computer and be a computer. All right. I ranted. That's just the way of life, folks. We're gonna be dealing with AI. It's gonna be more and more and more and more part of our lives. Complain all you want. It's gonna be there. You know, in 20 years, kids won't even know what it was ever like not to have AI. We know what it's like not to have AI, so we're complaining about AI. 20 years, kids are going to go from 0 to 20. At 20, they're just going to be working with AI. It's just the thing. You're just going to do it. You didn't even know what the option was before that. And you'd be like, they're going to be like, what do you mean? You didn't have this computer helping you? Nope. In fact, we were annoyed. we were complaining. It's like, you didn't like it helping you? Well, to be fair, it was pretty stupid 20 years ago. It was more, oftentimes making more mistakes than actually helping me any. But hopefully. Woo! Look at those errors. I went from 9 to 43. That was with my services running. Yikes. All right, well, what do we got? Let's start at the top. Let's hide these ones. $533 dialogues. All right, well, let's start at the top. Let's clear this out. First attempt to run the processes that we implemented today. Not a number of errors. 43 to be exact. Here are the first few. We'll go with that one. What is this guy? This isn't even supposed to be a thing. I don't know what. Oh wait, no, I do kind of have. Do I have an API handler? I forgot what I have that there. API handler. What is that? That seems like a thing that's not supposed to be there. We had it was doing something different earlier, and I think. Oh no, that's fine. The API handler is the base call to all this stuff. So really, the problem is probably not the API handler at all. I think it's going to be ultimately fix this, and we'll probably get rid of a bunch of these. Let's go back up here. API handler is a generic call from all of the data files. So as a result, all of these system setting league probably went through the API handler and failed a bunch of times. Once you fix the first one, it'll probably fix a bunch of these at the top. Same goes for like this one. It might even fix this one. So it's just a matter of knocking some of those off, and this number might drop a bunch, because I think a lot of these errors are triggered under the same command. especially if it has to call the same thing multiple times. It gets there and tries to do a bunch of things, and there's no data. So I think we might be, it might not be too bad. It says 43 errors, but I think ultimately it could be like 5 errors that are causing this issue. We'll see. That's optimistically me speaking. We'll see. What are we updating here? The admin task doesn't have the dash server flag. Let me update it. What? Huh? Now let me check if the admin service has the proper startup logic. Let me verify the tasks. Server should not require a dash server flag. It has been updated to run as a service with the default go run dot, or at least should have been. Let me confirm. Let's go here. Let's go look at the admin. Yeah, let's just go run dot. We're good. So it may have implemented it. It may have implemented the call to service with server, and now it's failing because we have server. So it needs to take that off. So somewhere, although it started correctly, it's not being called correctly. You know, restart all services, or at least admin and gateway services, to pick up today's changes. Wait, what? When did you change? When did you make changes to those guys? Okay. Well, a gateway I can imagine, because I just fixed league and player skills, but that shouldn't have affected. All right. Let's go ahead, and we did gateway. Let's close gateway. I just started this. There should not be a need to start the other services. But we will go bash. Oops, no. How am I always go bash? I don't like PowerShell. I like the colorfulness of Git bash. I do. It's the color. It's something about not just typing in white. I never liked working in DOS because it was just weird. Everything was just white. Drove me nuts. I mean, now it's obviously DOS is those years of working straight up in DOS. It's basically the new PowerShell, or PowerShell is the new DOS, right? You don't work in DOS anymore, but PowerShell is basically DOS. Command line crap. cd PFFM go ms / gateway. So this should restart the gateway, which should have all the stuff in it. But I don't think like I said, I don't think any other changes other than leagues and player skills have been updated. Not since I did that. So let's see if that makes a difference. Maybe by recalling gateway, that'll be fixed. Okay, so we're, you know what? I don't need the confirmation panel showing here. Let's go away. Confirmation panel can come up later. Oh, loading team characters. Hey, stuff happened. All right, stuff happened, but we didn't quite get to the end. We're getting some 404 errors. A lot of 404 errors. A lot of 404 errors. Well, I can stop. Well, let's stop admin. I don't think admin is the problem, but I will try it. Getting a lot of 404 errors. Oh, maybe they added stuff, because there is like league settings here. Maybe it added stuff to admin for the purposes of that function. Git bash. cd PFFM ms / what was I admin? Oops, go run dot. All right, so so we're going to get admin restarted. Now admin is running. I'll stop gateway again because maybe. Alright, so everybody's up and running again. Happy campers. I got admin started. Let's see if restarting admin handles the issue. I do feel like load images work better. My dialog box kind of sort of, I think, worked. Or my progress bar, I mean. Image download fail, 404 not found. I think we're having an issue with my file names on the images. We're still at 43 though. Oh no, load team, oh, it didn't finish. It did blow up still. Huh. All right, just to make it happy, I'm gonna go ahead and close everything. Plus, I'm gonna try and see if I can fix those 404 errors. I think I'm gonna go in here and let's go see what the URL is it's coming up with for the load images. Because I think it's building it wrong. Yeah, our image loader. Should be. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have it printed first. Let's do that. I want it to show the errors. I'm getting a lot of 404 errors when it pulls the images, so I'm thinking it's calling the wrong image IDs. It's doing that wrong. So P, run task, all services. I'm gonna go here. Can you update the output for the load their characters to output the URL to the console? I think it is incorrect because I am seeing a bunch of 404 errors. Alright, so we got game auth, game plan, playbook. I have 20 minutes to try to get this thing to load. Will allow. I got to get past this. I know there's a way to make these go away. Just let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Then I have to stop, go relax for a bit before I go put on my greatest thespian and work with my. Now I wanted to implement a accent for Friar Lawrence. Friar Lawrence was going to get an accent, but I was doing it, and it seems that even though I wanted to do it, my director said, you know what, let's do it without an accent. It's not that the accent, he didn't complain about the accent, he just thought it was distracting me from acting. But I thought it really was easier to do. I mean, sometimes some characters, it's like an accent just comes out. It just fits that character. Here's the deal. Shakespeare was not written for the English language, the American English language. The way we pronounce things, the way we understand things and hear things, it just doesn't roll off our tongues that way. It's just not meant to be. There are accents and languages that just fit Shakespearean language way better. So for me, when I was reading it, I would just feel like an accent started coming out because it felt more like that accent. It was more natural to speak. My character, Friar Lawrence, he speaks in rhyme, but his words don't rhyme in English. Love and prove. So when you say love, was it love and prove? Now you're talking with an accent. You got this thing in there, and it's got this weird way of speaking, and it's just you're trying to make a what are some of the things like your Omickle is the powerful grace that lies within plants, herbs, rocks, and their true abilities. You know, I mean, you want to speak with an accent because lies and abilities don't rhyme. So when you say it with regular accent, no accent, Omickle is the powerful grace that lies. Omickle is the powerful grace that lies in plants, herbs, rocks, and their true abilities. You can, but it just sounds weird. It's like why are you pronouncing it that way, dude? That's not the way it sounds. And it's like, it's because maybe if you heard me speaking in my native accent, it would be normal. So, yeah. Anyway. All right, so everything started again. We're good. Let's see what this did. Did it fix my... I'll help you update the player character loading code to output the URL to console. Let me first find out what the code is loaded. Good, the image loader already logs the URL. Now let me check. Oh, you know, it could be I didn't actually turn on. It was logging it, but not part of the error. So, yeah, I probably should check that. So we're going to go back over to here. If I turn this back on, and then go looking for those errors. Oh. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. You know, I'm going to probably have to stop this. But let's see what this did. There's so many. 533 of these. Okay, there we go. Where's the 404s? Okay, so we got 404 errors, response content. A couple of 404s. Where else we got? All right, so here. So we got lizard's pose, which is correct. But this is the path it's trying to get to. API images, team characters, lizards, pose.png. Now, if I'm correct, let's go look at what that looks like. Go over here. And we're going to go into leaks. And we'll go to public images. All right, so we got images, teams, characters, lizards pose.png. Do I have talons? Yeah, I have talons pose.png. Okay. API 8080. It's not 88. I think the problem might be I don't think it's case sensitive. Usually URLs are not case sensitive. Correct? If not, then this part of the URL. Hey, what are you doing down here, Riva? If not, then this part of the URL is correct. This, then the constructed part of the URL is correct. However, I am not sure of the base part, as the service path is leagues public base part of the URL. Should be defined in the figs. Oh, you know what? Did I not run? Oh, did I not run system init? I should probably go look. I added it to the system init, but I don't remember if I if I ran it. Let's go look. We'll find out in a minute. FPFM. System settings. System settings. Aha! That might be part of the problem. I forgot to run the test. Or if I didn't forget, it didn't put it in. FFM go ms /admin / system init ampersand go run dot. And let's see if this correctly refreshed. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Yep. Yep. Now it's there. So let's hit stop and try that again. Okay, so let's see. Some images might not exist yet. So the character pose, character pose of each team. Can we get a friendlier log message like team or character pose image not yet available for team. Rather than showing the whole folder. Alright, so while that does that, let's go ahead and run this. It's probably, it may not let me because it's going to update code and might trip up the code, but we'll try, see what it does. So we aren't unloading our progress bar, that much I do know. And we still have 43 errors. What the frick, man? I have way too much. Way too many things. So we did update the leagues. Okay. Well, I did put the data in, but for whatever reason, it's not pulling it right. Great gurgly murgly. Images. Oh, that feels wrong. Team characters, team characters. Mascot, API League team selection list, local API Leagues team selection list. Don't know what all this is. What is all this garbage? We got plays, API images plays, player 1, 2. Oh, these are loading up correctly. Local low app data. Localhost API images player 1, 2. API images. These are loading like they're supposed to. Ah, it's in the coroutine. I hate the coroutine. Well, there's data there. I don't know. Is it? I don't think it's preloaded. So we're going to have to figure out why. For one, I don't like that I'm getting 543 of these things. Completed with result protocol error. Don't know what that is. All right, let's go back here and see if maybe there's something I'm missing. Because it's no longer an issue of the it's no longer an issue of the path missing from the database. Some of these don't exist, which I would expect those to fail. And it's the buck raise, so that might not work. But some of these might fail because they have bad names, but I did not change at all. So that means every single one of them failed. So that's a problem. We got Vile Jocks. I don't think I have them yet either. Skycats. I don't have Skycats. I just need to make sure that one would be Drake Lords. I don't have Drake Lords. Do I even have... Is Drake Lords even a valid team anymore? I think the Drake Lords are not a valid team anymore. Ogres pose? I don't think I have ogres. Samurai! Alright, samurai. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have the samurai. Okay, so I have samurai. Samurai pose. Okay, so these guys... Image loader. Okay, I know this file exists in the correct path. Public images, teams, characters. However, it is getting a all4 error. So something is amiss. Boo! Let's go ahead and stop this guy. Two minutes left. Ah, bummer. I'm gonna have to take a break. Get myself over to... We're so close. If everything could just do its part, I can actually get it to try to load. Now, a couple things aren't happening. I got some obvious flaws. my progress meter is not loading up correctly, but that could be because I have a lot of failures happening in the in this run process. Also, whatever reason, I'm getting a whole bunch of errors at this beginning stage. Somewhere it's like a whole bunch. Let's just take this one off. So I got all these. These are obviously all of my logos. That's like 16, 17 logos, 30, 34 at least. And then we're here, and now all of these guys are still failing, and I haven't figured that one out. So this is still breaking. I don't know. Admin system settings. I don't know why it's called system dash settings. That doesn't seem right. But it's using that as the URL. I'm not worried about it. It's just a URL call. If maybe that's how it's using it in the file, but wait, team logos aren't complaining. Team logos appear to be loading correctly. Or rather, I am not seeing any errors for them. So it says it did something to fix this. Not sure what it did for team logos, but I wasn't getting any errors for it, so I'm hoping it didn't break stuff. What does it change? 80. Not sure if that's right. We're going to see what happens. I'm expecting more errors, not less. It feels extra wrong to me. I test that. Services, but still I see this there. Oh wait, did that actually fix that? Oh wow, it did. All the 404s went away. Okay. Well, I guess that did fix it. No, not all the 404s went away, but the ones related to the images went away. So now we're up to 601. We're getting a lot of logs. I gotta cut out a lot of this junk. Huh? What are you talking about? Admin service right there, running and doing its thing, man. Yes, it is. What are you talking about? Yes, it is. No, this is the data as shown in the database. found in the system settings collection. Well, yes, sir. AI or UI uses, or Mongo uses camel case. That's just the life of the world, man. All right. Hopefully that fixed it. Where are we at? 504 I went over. Duh. How often do I not go over? But I do need to go clear my brain, let my brain relax, maybe veg out in front of the TV for a little bit. Read some lines, study my lines. But hey, if I can get some of these errors to go away, that would be pretty nice. All right, so we got initializing, loading, ooh, 34 low. Oh, look at that. Oh, everything went away. We're doing stuff. Oh, look at that. Let's see what happens when I press start. Oh, I gotta log in? Huh. I don't feel like I should have to log in. I feel like I should already be logged in, but it's possible it expired for whatever reason. Until next time, I'm going to take a break. I think we've got it. We're ready to go to the next phase. This is where things will start to trigger. It's exciting, but I got to wait because I'm over time and it's Friday. I don't mind going over on other days, but you know, Sabbath